Hi there, I'm Ben and welcome to part 7 of my full platinum walkthrough for Elden Ring. As always, we're in the exact same spot where we left off in the previous video, so we are in the Academy of Raya Lucaria, or we're at the entrance. Now that's what we're going to do in this video. We're going to do the entirety of the Academy. It's one of the better areas of the game if you don't mind magic, because there's a lot of it. Every enemy is magic, well, pretty much every enemy. A lot of sorcerers and things like that, so if you struggle with anything that shoots from a distance, you might struggle in this area a bit, but we should not, because we will be able to shoot from a distance as well. I mean, look at this. This is just, yeah, something else. I kind of wish the whole game was like this, and then I remembered there is one. It's called Bloodborne. Anyway, first to the side here, we've got some magic grease, which you can put on your weapon, and it will change it to a magic weapon. Not anything we will use, but there you go. And then up the stairs. There are two sorcerers at the top. I'm going to stand at the bottom and just cast two rocks up. One will get their attention. The second will potentially kill them all. Kill them both. Sorry, it may not. That one did for me. If you're melee, you'll have to run up. They cast pebble, so it is quite slow. So you can just kind of move side to side and dodge it. It's not too bad, but be aware that you're going to have to do a lot of running towards enemies. Now, having said that, don't run towards this one if you are from a distance, of course, because there's other enemies that are going to drop down. So a couple of casts will get him. The spell he's using can't reach you from the door, so don't worry about that. But this is why you can't run into the room, because you have these kind of skeleton cage guys. They're a bit like the ones from Dark Souls, but these ones actually run around. There's 4 in this room. You've got 2 in the middle, and there's 1 on each side. So I'll show you where the other one is in a moment. And at the back, we've got a Somber Smithing Stone 3, which we will use later on. So here's the other one. He won't sort of aggro because I'm not on the other side, so don't worry about that. Just go round and you'll miss it. And then we have a grace point here, so we're safe. Not that we've done that much so far. The next area is probably the worst area of this sort of section. We're not quite in the academy yet. We've got to sort of make our way through. It makes sense in a moment. We're going through a graveyard. It's just the enemies here. They're not difficult. They're just frustrating because they take so much magic. So I'm going to stick the old lamp on here. Yeah, and they jump at you like this. They do kind of double grab you. You'll see it happen to me twice, in fact. So you'll see me actually use the sword a lot as well, because I don't want to run out of magic either, because there's quite a lot to do. Yeah, you can see how many casts. Obviously, some sort of magic has brought them back, so they're quite immune to it. Well, they're not immune, are they? But you know what I mean. Yeah, so there's a few. We want to get past this grave. You could just run past them. They're quite slow, especially waking up. Be aware that there is one to my right, just past this wall. So don't go running in. That's why I'm not running in at this one. I thought, I'm just going to have to stand here and cast. And it's going to take a while. It's going to eat all my blue flask. I don't know why I did that extra cast there. See? I mean, come on. What the hell was that? Seriously. How... So, doing a double lunge, I can get over that. But he was stuck behind that grave. I had no idea. I mean, I should have had an idea, but... that was not fair. But yeah, once you run and get that item, quite a few of them are going to wake up. This is why I'm saying you could just run through here. So watch the video, get an idea of where they're going to come from, and just go for it, to be honest. There's not much point in sticking around, because you're just going to burn through your cerulean flasks. They don't even have a particularly good payout either. I think it's, what is it, 97 or something like that. Just under 100. And there's so many of them. Keep switching between them as well. I could, probably a good idea would actually run into the middle of them and use Gravitas, L2 on the sword, if you've got that equipped like I have. So soften them all up a bit. I think we've got another. I mean, come on. That lunge that they do is just horrendous. You think you've missed it, and then they kind of do it again. It's... yeah, right. Okay, we're through it. So that you can see the bleed effect happening as well. Let's call this a bleed effect demonstration then. So yeah, once they're all done, run past them. and go this way. There is a bridge to my right. If you cross the bridge, some others will spawn. We're actually going to avoid another spawn by going this way. Watch out for this one around the side here. Hit him with the old R2 there. Yeah, so when they splat like that, that's the bleed effect doing its damage. The bar filling up, as it were. And we're going to run up here. And then you've got a couple more of those skeletons around this corner. If you're quick, you can get them both, but one was stood behind the other, so I'm kind of stuck. They do shoot arrows very quickly, or bolts, isn't it? They've got crossbows. I didn't lock across quickly enough. But yeah, the reason we... that's nice, right in the hand. Yeah, we don't need these ashes, but the reason we have come across is to avoid a spawn. That's it. The ashes are nice if you want to use them. And then, yeah, don't go near the bridge to the right. Some others will spawn in. Just leave it. Now we have some larger ones. These ones are just the same. They just take more damage. So just get rid of them quickly, obviously. I believe there is actually an item behind there I may have missed. Not one we need, but there might be something. I must have checked in the run-through. There's a big one again. The big one did not die. I thought he was going to die on the way past. He did not. And splat. Okay, there's some behind me, but don't go to them yet. Just make sure no one is following you, though. They shouldn't be. And then you've got the big one down here in the middle, so you can get him with a couple of rock slings, and then just drop down and get the other two. We're dropping down here to get the Carian Knight set. I like the set. I like how it looks, and it's a decent weight for us as well. It's kind of right on the cusp with regards to weight limit on what we can hold. So, yeah, it's a good set. I like it. We will be changing the helm, though. I'm going to put it on right now. You should be okay with the amount. If you check your equipment load on the right hand side as you're doing this, you can see mine's medium load as I put the first three on. Oh no, sorry, it's heavy load with the when I get to the third one, and then with the Greaves it's going to take it way over. So I'm actually fat rolling it now, so I'll just show you that. To get rid of that, you just need to lose more weight, obviously. So we don't need the torch anymore, so that can go. And a bow, we'll just use that in specific places. And that should sort you out. You should be alright with medium. If you're still fat rolling at that point, maybe just leave the helm or something off for now, and just upgrade your endurance, your stamina. A couple of points. I will put a few points into that, just so we can carry a bit more weight around. We are going to change our helmet again after this. There are 3 helmets. They're kind of helmets, the weird mask things. Yeah, we've come full circle now, by the way, when I've just dropped down there. So I've just hit that guy once, and I've done that because there's a lot of dogs that wake up in this area. And I do mess this up a bit, if I remember rightly. So yeah, I'm just waiting to see. There's dogs here, so that's why I'm waiting. But yeah, this is what was behind us when we dropped off that cliff beforehand, so we've come full circle. Yeah, the dogs are here now, of course, when I wasn't ready for them. And with them being Souls dogs, they do nearly kill me, because that's what dogs do best, isn't it? God, they're horrible. I've got no health left either. I've just got this this flask. So there's one more dog on the steps. He's just going to wake up as I finish this guy off. And then this one appears. Great. Luckily, the first bite, I was not ready for him. Again, this is what happens if you record first thing in the morning. Obviously, separate, divide and conquer. This is not going well. I do apologise. We'll get sorted in a minute. Sorry. Right, magic grease. I mean, you can just run for it. There's nothing here we particularly need. I'm just showing you... particularly need? Did I just say that? We need in particular. Another dog. And a crystal lizard. I'm calling it a crystal lizard. Spectral lance. So you're probably wondering... You probably heard it. Twinkling away. And we're almost clear. So I'm going to give you the option here to fight this guy at the start. If you may be running out on, say, health or FP at this point, so don't worry about doing this guy. There's a grace point we're going to get in a moment. It's up that lift. Now, if you don't have enough magic to take this guy on and you think you're not going to be able to do it, then just leave it for now and you can come and get him later on in about 5 minutes' time. Just a few gravity rock slings will do it. 4 should do it. And he's got the Gravity Well Sorcery, which is not too bad. Nothing we'll actually use. It's not the worst, though. And Somber Smithing Stone 3, if you need another one of those. Yeah, so don't worry if you can't kill him yet. We will be using this lift. We're going to go all the way down and then come all the way back up again. But you can come and refresh everything up here first. You go through this door and there's going to be a grace point, and this is that's the worst part of Raya Lucaria done, but kind of. We're going to go back outside in a minute and just go down that lift and get an item. There's a couple of things there. There's a ring that you may find useful if you want to go exploring. I'm just going to put a point in endurance, like I said. We'll just level that up a little bit along the way now to help out. And there is a particular enemy here that if it grabs you, it teleports you. It kills you and teleports you to a different area for Volcano Manor, which is quite a ways through the game, to be honest. I don't die, I don't get grabbed by it, but if it does happen to you, then you can just die or teleport, whatever, back to where we are. It may be the case where you are trapped and just find the nearest grace point. There should be one right where you get teleported to. So if you keep an eye out on the, let's say, north side of the lift, there is this halfway down, just before the wheel. There's a couple of enemies here. You can just kind of make them out. You can see there on the left, you can see his weapon kind of sparkling, well, shining in the light. So get rid of those two. They're like little flying irritations is what I'm going to call it. And then a few of these are just going to pop up. But yeah, you want to kill the other two quickly. You don't want to give them any space whatsoever because they kind of fly and they've got a big long pike type weapon. Halberd, I think. And they just spin around. They just sort of don't control themselves. They just spin around. And there's another summon here if you want it. We're just kind of halfway down. It's actually the bottom we're going. So the enemy down here that can grab you is... I hate them, but they're just not the most fun enemy. So you can see he's got two wheels for hands. He will either come zipping towards you and try and crush you, or do that and grab you. If he does that grab, he will more than likely kill you, and that's when you'll get teleported away to Volcano Manor. What you're waiting for is the zip to try and dodge out the way. He can get stuck in it sometimes. I should have just gone for a cast then, it would have killed it. But yeah, heal instead. When it has the chest open, you do more damage, by the way. And yeah, that's what we're grabbing. We're just grabbing a Smithing Stone 5 and a Longtail Cat Talisman. If you want to go exploring, if you are afraid of fall damage, this will negate fall damage. Now, don't get that confused with you can just drop from any height and won't die. There is a point, a threshold as you drop. It's time in the air. That's how this game calculates how much damage you take, is how long you're in the air for. So double jumping on the horse actually extends your fall damage as opposed to negating it as a normal game would. You'd sort of jump at the bottom of a fall and you'd negate a bit damage. It doesn't work like that. There's a certain threshold where no matter how far you've fallen, you will die, even if you have the ring on. But if you have this ring on and you are before that threshold, you won't take any damage. Hope that makes sense. If you didn't kill that guy before, you can just jump off here quickly and do it. You can see he's still there. You should, obviously the item and everything will still be there. And yeah, now we're clear. Now we're going to go in, have a bit more fun in the next area, where it's not so dark. some crystal darts. Crystal darts aren't actually too bad. I always forget I have them, and you know, we've got magic for distance, but if you are melee, crystal darts can be quite good. Not going to level up yet. So here there'll be a... This is kind of a melee sorcerer. Well, not kind of. He is a melee sorcerer. They obviously have a sword and shield as opposed to spells, but they do look the same and have that same Burger King looking headgear on. And then there's a couple here in the distance. Now, I find it best just to use a rock sling because it kills... If all three hit, it'll kill them in one. Sometimes you'll get unlucky. I mean, how much health has he really got? None. And hit a wall. You have to get used to, obviously, with the casting. In here's another scroll, which we will hand in eventually, and a Glintstone Craftsman Cookbook number 5. Again, we don't really ever craft anything, but if you want to look and see things that might help you, you should not be struggling in this game at all. I hope you're not. I hope I'm doing my job correctly. If you are like dying a bit more, obviously put some more points in health and everything like that. But yeah, maybe switch up a few things. Maybe take up the Scar Seal off, the Sour Seal, whatever it's called, off that we have to help with the damage and things like that. But I think this is the easiest way to play the game, so you should not be struggling. If you're dying more than me, obviously, I think I've died once so far. Then yeah, if you're new, of course, that's to be expected. Don't worry about that. So yeah, sorcerers at the top of the stairs here. Those three of them, just hit them with some rock slings. The large pot there you can get the drop on if you just quickly go around the corner and hit him first. Got a ritual pot here, which is a crafting material. And then we're going to go upstairs. Now don't run up to the top of these stairs, obviously take it slowly. There's more sorcerers up here. Fortunately didn't get that third rock there. So that's a melee one, and then there's going to be 2 that come from the sides. Just shy. That's annoying. So they will use the same sort of spell as you, and they will kind of rally it. They won't just do one. They'll keep going. Got both of them there. And then there's another one on the left stairs. Or right now. You can cast... That's a good thing about Rock Sling as well. You can cast it from behind a wall. Sometimes it doesn't work if you're too far away, like I am. Too close, should I say, like I am now. But it can be really handy later on. So if you're really stuck, stand behind or in front of a wall, sorry, and just cast, and it'll go up above the wall and then shoot out. So it's actually pretty handy later on with certain enemies. Right, our first illusionary wall. This was the first one I ever found in the game, and I didn't think there was going to be any, because, I mean, this was quite late on when I first found this. But yeah, there's quite a few later on. Another spell, Comet. It's sort of a stronger pebble, really, and a Stonesword Key. I don't use it, but you may want to. It's stronger, but it costs more. If they've changed the stats, you know, with a patch or something, made it a bit cheaper or a bit more powerful, it may actually be worth it. And then we've got a secret area within the secret area. So I'm going to drop down. And there's going to be loads of these little pot guys here. They haven't woken up, but you're going to have to kill them, I'm afraid, beforehand. These, you can see the first 2 there took the charge R2 and, you know, died in one hit. And the rest of them don't. I don't know why. But yeah, if you don't kill them, once you pick this item up, they'll all come running at you. And this item is the Graven-School Talisman. Now what this does is it increases your magic damage, which is, you know, pretty good for us. It's not a massive increase. It's I think between 3 and 5%, but I mean it all helps. I'm actually going to switch it for Erdtree's favour. I do lose HP by doing that. I don't lose any HP. I lose HP and stamina and equip load. I might add, but it is actually lighter. So just make sure you're not fat rolling if you do change it. You will have less health. You will have less stamina. But I mean, if you are used to having less, then you kind of don't miss it, if you know what I mean. But your spells are going to do more damage now, so it's a trade-off. Yeah, obviously play around with talismans. You don't need to have the same setup as me, obviously. And then into our first boss. And I will say, do not use this stupid summon that I use. Get rid of him. He's useless. He's completely useless. I hate it now. This one, the one we've been using, the headless guy. Switch back to the knight we were using, Engval. Right, so this is a Red Wolf, the Red Wolf of Radagon. He's actually usually very simple if you have a summon because they take all of the attention. But this guy is actually quite weak to magic, which I didn't realise. I haven't really used him before. Yeah, the problem with this one is that the casts are quite long on the Rock Sling. And the wolf is actually very quick. And it keeps dropping spells like that. And we'll just keep that. It's done another one. It'll just keep casting them. Just try and keep your distance. Now, if you do have the other summon, he will be a lot more aggressive than this guy is. And will take the heat for pretty much the whole fight. So you should be fine. But yeah, that was a bit of a mess. Change the summon. He's no good. And we get Memory Stone and, of course, the trophy there, of course. So we do have another spell slot. I'm not going to put anything in it yet. But like I said in the previous video, some of the spells will be more expensive. So, 2-3 slots. So we just need as many of those as we can later on. Yeah, it wasn't the best Red Wolf fight, I got to admit. It was pretty terrible, to be honest. But, yeah, just when he does the melee sword, you can just, time the dodge. It's quite delayed. And try and keep your distance. And hopefully your summon does a lot better than mine did. Right, sit at the grace point and then go outside. And we're going to the right-hand side. I'm going to hook all the way around, jump through this window, and then we're above where we just fought the wolf. Down this left-hand side, there's 5 crystal bud, another crafting material. And then on the other side, there is a legendary talisman, Radagon's icon. Now, this is a talisman I do actually want. A talisman I will actually equip later on. We're going to get another talisman slot later at the end of this video, actually. And I do forget to equip it. I'll do it at the beginning of the next one. So that's a legendary one we actually need for a trophy. So obviously make sure you grab that one. What it does is it increases your casting speed for spells. Obviously that is helpful for us. Its casting speed is tied to dexterity. Obviously I'm just going to mention this while we're fighting these two guys here. There's the melee one's caster at the top. Dexterity is tied to how quickly you cast spells. So later on we will start putting points in dex once we have enough intelligence to kind of equip what we want to equip. And what this icon does is it artificially adds 20 dex, but only in the sense of speeding up your casting. It doesn't add more dex, proper dexterity. Just the casting speed will go up. So it's pretty good. So we will equip it. Right, back to normal. Rocksling, the guy that's down there. There are pots down here, but make sure you get the sorcery. So you don't have to deal with him as well. Like I said, you can just stand behind the wall and cast. You just saw me do it then, and it will go up and over the wall as opposed to hitting the wall, which is actually really nice. I'm really glad that this spell does it because most of them will just slam right into the wall. So yeah, pots, and then we're back down in the courtyard in a moment. And do I go and... Yeah, I think I do go back and sit at the grace and just kind of refresh. And I'll level up as well. Yeah, so endurance, we're going to, just put a couple more in. It's nice. It helps with resistances and things. And, of course, intelligence is something we're always going to be doing. But mind, we're actually quite low on as well. So, yeah, just a couple there now. But intelligence, we're going to shoot up right up to 60 soon. So, just kind of putting a few into others so we don't die so easily. But, yeah, you should be fine. As long as you're keeping your distance, taking your time, you should be fine. So we're just going to open up a shortcut. So quickly run here. The lock-on does it. I mean, look at the state of that lock-on. So I was trying to lock on to the guy that's in this room through the door. Obviously run towards so the two above can't get you. And then there's this guy in here. Just kind of cast and then go in and melee, you should be fine. And in here's the Glintstone Whetblade. This will let you put magic, different types of magic onto your weapons, not just the sort of magic gravitas that we have. You know, the scaling. And then they got the two guys up here. So yeah, because they're not watching, I'm able to cast gravity from over. I keep calling it gravity. Rock sling from over, but he was also able to hit me, which is not so fun. Yeah, it's not going to work, is it? Casting. Oh my god, come on. You'd think this would be the first time I've done this. Right, so that remember that that's another shortcut. That's right at the end though. That's just before the next boss. Kill him with a rock sling and then jump down. There's going to be one walking up the stairs here. I should have just gone straight in for the melee. Yeah, so watch the lock on this now. So I'm trying to lock on, it won't do it, and then it locks onto some guy over here. Obviously, apparently he's the closest enemy. I don't know what was going on with the lock on with this this game today. That one wasn't my fault. Right, you got another one of these guys here. With this one actually can get you from quite a distance. This one won't teleport you. If it grabs you, it'll just kill you. So you can hit it with a few rock slings. I get really lucky here. That final cast I should not have bothered with, because they do... Oof, that was close. They do get you from quite a distance. Just keep your distance. Sometimes they will charge you. Sometimes they'll slowly creep like this. So you want them to obviously slowly creep. It'll give you plenty of time to kill them. And then we're just going to clear this bottom area out. There is a Stonesword Key up here. And then there's lots of crabs. So remember, little crabs means big crabs. I'll show you where the big crabs are so you don't panic if one just comes flying out the wall at you, the ground at you. That was a cheeky one. Yeah, so the crabs, the big crabs in this place, they do the normal sort of spit attack that they have, but this time they have an effect called sleep, which this is the only, I'm sure there's probably other enemies that do it, but this is the only place I've actually encountered it myself or been affected by it. You're not going to see it get me, but these crabs, these large crabs that are here, do it, and all it does, it basically knocks you out for a moment. It's a status effect like poison or bleed or whatever. Builds up and then you just get knocked out for a moment, so it gives the crab a chance to obviously come and smash you. But yeah, if they do the missed attack, back away and don't get caught up in it. There isn't actually anything fun on this side. The Trina's and Lily, I mean, we've got plenty of those now. Nope, nothing there. There's some stairs behind where we fought the two casters when we opened that shortcut up. There's some stairs on the opposite side where they were, where we went up the stairs to get them. If you turn around, go the other way, and I think there's an item there as well. It might actually be smithing stone. Obviously, golden seed, so we want that. You should only have 2 at this point. We need 3 now from now on, so no good to us. As yet, we can't level up, I mean. And then we're going to get our first Glintstone crown, so we can look like the Burger King guy as well. Now, these you may or may not want to use. I will, because they look kind of goofy more than anything. But yeah, we're going to be picking up 3 of them. There's different stages of how good and bad they are, really. So if you look at my stats now, my intelligence is going to go up, some of my resistances will go up, but my stamina is going to go down. So I'm going to take the hit on the stamina just to get those extra 3 points of intelligence. It does look kind of goofy. Obviously, roll, make sure you're okay with that as well. It does look kind of goofy. It's always the way in these games with the magic hats that they do. They're horrible. Like oh god, what was it called? The rap one from Demon Souls and things. Forget the name of it. They're just so goofy looking, but they are good because they obviously increase your magic damage. Look at that. So yeah, weigh up whether you want the extra damage or you want the extra stamina. And if you aren't doing magic, obviously doesn't apply to you whatsoever. And now we've opened that shortcut up, we can just skip right on through. And we're going to do some parkour across the rooftops. So we've got the two here. He was quick on it. He saw me coming. How does it, I mean, I look exactly like him. Well, apart from the different armour. How does he know that I'm not friendly? Maybe because I just killed his friend. But, yeah. Golden Rune. Plenty of those. And we're going to do dancing on the rooftops. The main enemy up here is going to be these skeletons. The cage skeletons. This one is the one that shoots you from a distance, so as you're doing that, obviously strafe in case the arrows leave his crossbow. I'm going to jump up here. There's a rune around this corner. And then at the top of the ladder here, you're going to see these imps. You couldn't see them in the bushes beforehand, but you're going to be able to see them now. Well, kind of. There's three of them. You can see I've locked onto one. You can either one-shot them with Rock Sling, or you can get them down after fighting the sorcerer using Pebble. It's up to you. I'll wait for the third one. So this sorcerer here, he is fine. It's just a normal sorcerer. He does have a different spell that we haven't seen before, but if you're this far away, he can't reach you. So nothing to worry about whatsoever. Let's get one close up so you can have a look. There, that wasn't a very good cast. There we go. They do just a random spin. It's a pretty crazy spin sometimes if they get close. Can't control themselves. We'll get that item afterwards. That is actually why we're going to go round this way in a moment. Big jump coming up, so I'm going to jump across here. You can just see the gap. It does look like you're not going to make it, but you will make it if you leap off the edge there. And then watch out, there's one of those imps, so don't go rolling around. Just try and get him to slam. Walk around in a circle, try and get him to slam on the floor. I think he might actually be on the tower to the right, so you could probably actually kill him beforehand. And then we've got... Oh no, the item's falling off. Crossbow ones. Nope, it's gone. Leave it. Couple shots and dead. So we are getting the full moon crossbow weapon next. Not something I will use. You may. But the main thing we're going up for is a smithing stone. So there's two in this room. Don't just run into this room. Try and lock on. I can't actually see him. He's on the floor right now. There we go. Try and lock on and kill them one at a time rather than running. If you run in the room, they'll both drop down. For some reason, I thought there was an item out here. How? There's nowhere for it to be. I'm just going to skip this ladder. It's quite long. But yeah, climb all the way to the top. Don't go to the left-hand side, because the item you want is on the right. Directly to the right. This is the full moon crossbow, if you want to use that. I've never particularly liked crossbows in these games, because they're not... the reason you would use it is for distance and accuracy. Crossbows just aren't. So we've got Smithing Stone 4 there. That's what we've come for. And then we're going to drop down. So we've gone full circle now. And then we're going to do this big jump again. And then we're going to go straight on this time. There is an imp thing up on this. So you should be able to get him from here. Or her. Don't know if it's a her. Could be. Yeah, there's a few guys down there. You don't need to worry about them. We're never going to go down there. And then we're going to fall down through these floorboards. So be careful. Obviously, you're not going to be able to just jump all the way down. You won't take any damage, so you don't need the cat ring or anything. And we're going to find another crystal crab. This one has a different glintstone crown. a better one. I personally think it's better. Sorry, no, this is not the better one. The third one's the better one. This one it's pretty hard to justify. This one, you're going to take a huge chunk of health away by changing it. It's like 80 health. Your dexterity is going to go up. Your intelligence will stay the same as well. So compared to the other one, it is better with stamina and dex. It also get the intelligence as well. It just doesn't show it there because I've already got it. Compared to just not wearing any. But I just can't justify that massive drop in health. So we're actually going to use the third one, which we'll get later on. And a Somber Smithing Stone 4 to finish off the journey. Yeah, there's the other one. That's the final one, but we do need to go round to get him. Nope, thought there might be. Nothing. We're about to get something called an Imbued Sword Key. It's like a magic stone sword key. There are only three of them in the game. I found 3. I've only found 3 places you can actually use them as well. We are never going to use them. They're a bit strange, the kind of design. They take you to areas that are later in the game, but you only can go to a little section of it that's kind of blocked off. The main reason we've come around here is for the Smithing Stone 3, if you need those still. Yeah, we're not going to use the Imbued Key. We're not even going to go near the area where you use them. And there is no particular reward for going. Like I said, we're skipping quite a lot of the game. So it's just not one of those things we need to do. And now we're going to drop down onto the main hall. So we've actually come full circle. This is the beginning hall that we walked into that we're dropping down onto now. There are a couple of the flying guys up there. Can't reach from here. I just moved that a little bit and woke them up. Luckily the rock sling does its job and tracks them quite well. Magic grease if you want to use that on your weapon. We don't need to. Jump through the window. Be careful, you're on rafters here. Some golden rune here. And then look for the chandelier with the item on. So we're going to drop down to the next level. Again, be careful, it's a long way down. And then drop... Whoa, the camera threw me then. Academy Glintstone Key. Might seem a bit weird that we're getting one of these inside, because we've already used it to get in here. But you remember the useless sorcerer we saw when we first came into the lakes? He was in that church. You can give it to him. We're not going to do his thing. It's useless. Right, try and kill the sorcerer one that's there, and then we're actually going to use the wondrous physic. Hopefully you've got the bubble. I mean, you don't need this. It's just going to help. Got the bubble one that takes the first hit of damage, because we're going to drop down and press forward to this side and get this one, and then there's going to be one coming from behind. There's one on each side, so just keep checking. He's not there yet, and he will just suddenly appear. But if you can kick this ladder down, there he is, sneaky. And then if you haven't killed the summoner one, or sorry, the caster, the sorcerer, he'll also be on this side. So that's why we tried to kill him from the top. He'll be there. Another spell there, Shattering Crystal. Obviously you can mess around with that if you want to, you might like it. And then we're going to get Azor's Glintstone Staff, which is another staff. One that we will not use. But it's there, in case you want to. I don't know. We are going to get the staff that we are going to use for the rest of the game at the end of this video, so it's kind of redundant at this point, unfortunately. And then we're going to go kill this last crab. Nope, not there. There we go. Kill this last crystal crab, and get this last crown. And this is the one that I'll use. It actually dropped something else as well, which is quite rare for one of those crabs to do. Firefly, great. So this one is this one here with the 2. You can see the intelligence, it puts, it's 6 points of intelligence. I know it's just 3 extra, but the health drop isn't as bad. So I'm actually going to justify it. And so it's plus 6 intelligence for just having this crown on. Yeah, you do take hits elsewhere, but if you think you can manage it and you want the extra power, then go for it. Now, you just teleport where I teleport in a moment. I'm just coming down here to show you where we are. So we're at the entrance. You remember where the caster was? And then we came through this door. All the guys dropped down. And then we're just before the graveyard. So that's where we are. Yeah, so you just teleport from the top. There's no need to go down that ladder. Just teleport down here to the Debate Palace. That's where we fought the wolf. And now we're going to go the other way. I'm just going to level up first, I think. If you go back to Roundtable Hold, we'll do it at the end of the video. If you do go back for whatever reason, you will get attacked by an NPC. That's completely normal. Just kill them. We'll do it at the end of the video. I probably should have mentioned it at the beginning, but if you're following along, you're probably not going to go back. But yeah, if you just, it's normal. Don't worry. Now we're going to drop down onto this full one. Now there's going to be a magic ball that you can dodge through, and you can also, you know, there's gaps. I'll show you there's gaps, but I'm going to actually use the physic just to take that hit of damage. You can dodge through it. I didn't try and dodge through it. I thought the gap was going to be big enough. So watch where it always uses the same path. So you can see there, you know, there's a clear bit. There's actually an item there to the left. It's crystal darts. I forgot to get it, but it's crystal darts. We don't need them. Oh, yeah, that was a close one. So they just will keep coming down. About here is the safest place you can be, because it will run in a straight line and completely miss you. That may come into effect, maybe something you use in a moment. And you've got the Carian Knight here. He's not really an NPC fight, but he kind of is. He will try and close the gap on you pretty quickly. But what you can do is be careful. Obviously, they're going to drop down. He's run down here. He doesn't play ball, haha, pun intended, with me, but he should stand underneath sort of where the ball drops, and it can kill him. But unfortunately, he's, like I said, not playing ball, so we have to do it the old-fashioned way. Eventually, he'll kind of do that weird Diagro state that they do. He's doing it now, where you saw I just hit him, but he still didn't, you know, carry on trying to attack, which he's doing now. He's just kind of backstepping, which is fine. And then he will have one heal in him, and then you should be able to kill him. Oh, you run out. There he goes. I will just mention, by the way, there is a teleport to the right hand side of me there through the door. We will come back and do that if you're wondering if you see it. We'll come back and use that later on. It's going to take us to a certain place that just kind of a bit of a shortcut, I suppose, more than anything. We get to see, you may have seen the Pope Turtle Tortoise. That's where it takes you. Right, we've come, again, as we do, it's a Souls game, we've come round full circle to where we were. So I'm going to open this door, make sure you open this door up before teleporting. But we're where those 2 sorcerers are. So I'm going back to Debate Palace. And I'm going to run the shortcut back for you in case you die. We're about to go and do the boss, so in case you die, you know how to do it. And yeah, that's it. So, you know this area, run up here and run down here, and then just ignore them. You should be able to dodge through and just keep running through the door we just opened, and then you are clear for the boss. Duck here though. There you can see the spells are still potentially going to hit you, so duck past the wall and then run and you'll be okay. If you run, you'll more than likely get hit. And yeah, go up the lift here, and then we're going to go and do the boss, Rennala, Queen of the Full Moon. Like I said, the summon I have is completely useless. It's even worse against Rennala, and I didn't change it because I'm an idiot. So I died, unfortunately. Second death, count them. So I'm just going to phase here. This is my second attempt. I'm coming back in. So I've just gone the shortcut. There we go. So there will be a cutscene the first time you come in here, and I'm just going to switch my summon. So I'm going to get rid of him. I'm going to put Engval back on. Right, this boss is actually really simple. The first phase, there's 2 phases to this boss. The first phase, you're looking for the glowing students. So the one there, you can just see it. If you see this fire as you're going around this circular room, move away, because there's going to be a chandelier will drop on you and will kill you. Just look for the ones that are singing. If you can't see them, they may be on the outer circle. You'll hear them singing, should I say. Look out for them. Kill them. You just need to hit them once. You don't need to kill them, sorry. And then after killing 3, or hitting 3, Rennala will drop from the sky for a little bit. Get actually quite a lot of damage in here. And then she's going to jump back up again, and then the whole process will start again. This second part, she's going to actually pull 3 or 4 of them, yeah, 4 I think it is, towards her, and then she's going to cast those at you. So you need to be fairly quick or hide, because they will also kill you very quickly. So I was lucky actually, because mine were pretty close together. None of them were on the outer rim of this room, so I was okay with that. The reason I'd used melee there, I don't actually know, because I didn't have enough. I was trying to do my summon before the cutscene, but after the cutscene, get ready to dodge here rather than cast. But I wanted to bring him in. And then this is the second phase. She's obviously full sorcerer at this point. You might get really lucky with this phase. Unlike phase 1, I didn't get lucky with this at all, because the tracking was on me, which is not supposed to happen. It's supposed to be on Engval, so I can just stand there casting. But eventually she will start bringing in her own summons. They don't hang around the full time. At this point I'm just trying to dodge, because it's a horrible Bloodhound Knight. Eventually they'll run out. She's going to do Comet again. There again, it is a spell we will get eventually. It's really good. Yeah, the summons for her are pretty crazy, to be honest. Just a dragon, you know. I mean, how amazing would that be if we were able to bring a dragon in? The problem is, whenever she brings a summon in, is that your focus will switch. The computer, the game actually moves focus away. Like there, then it's just done it again, and it's focused me onto the wolves that have now been summoned. And my summon himself is not doing a goddamn thing, so I don't know what he's messing around at. He's just following me around. It's because I'm not close enough to to Rennala herself, so I need to go and do that. And what do we have this time? Oh, we've got a giant this time. That's fun. So at least you got to see the full spectrum of summons that she might have. And it's just a case of strafing and looking for opportunities to attack. I think we got another Bloodhound gang. Jesus Christ, you can tell I was alive in the 2000s. God, remember them. Yeah, Bloodhound Knight. The other guy's got his attention. Comet Azure, we're going to dodge left from that again. And then I think this is the point where we actually managed to kill her, finally. If you are lucky, you will be able to just spam Rock Sling at her, and the attention will be focused solely on your summon, and you'll be able to kill her really quickly. In fact, usually I can, but there you go. So you're going to get another Great Rune, you're going to get another Remembrance, and you're going to get the trophy. And then she'll just be sat here. So I'm going to speak to her, exhaust her dialogue options, speak to her, what have you. And then now you will be able to respec if you want to. So rebirth is respec. You'll use those larval tears we've been finding. We've got 2, so you can respec twice if you want to. You could always just use a backup save and do it. You can also change the way you look. But yeah, if you do respec for whatever reason, you will get all your points back apart from your starting points. You don't get the full lot back, just the starting ones. So your starting class will be the same, and then you can add from there. I'm going to put intelligence. We need to get up there, and yeah, that's this area done. You'll see there is a chest there. You can't open it. We will get a key for that. It's part of one of the endings. Key for that. Sorry, it's not. Is it the ending? It's not the ending, is it? It's one of the side bosses. So we're going to go back to Weeping Peninsula. We're just going to teleport all the way back to the southern point where that merchant was, and this turtle castle thing. And we're going to use one of these. So there's 7 or 8 of these in the game. and what they allow you to do is copy a remembrance. So we have 2 remembrances at this point. We have Godric's, and now we have Rennala's. And what you do is you hand them into the Finger Maiden that is at Round Table Hold, and you will get one of a choice of what you get, a weapon or sort of a spell or talisman or something like that. None of them are needed for trophies, so you're completely free to use whichever ones you want. We're only going to use this Rennala one. You don't need to use or grab both of them. The main thing we're after is the staff, but you may want the spell as well, so that's why we're doing this. So think of these remembrances as boss souls, basically, from the previous games. What I'm doing here, obviously you can see I'm hitting these white kind of... what are they? They look like skulls. They look a bit like what they call barnacles. But you need to smash them off the feet of this thing. Once you've got all of them, get the hell out the way of 2 sides. You may not need to get all of them off 2. It may drop before that. But yeah, once 2 of them are clear, back away, because it's going to collapse. And it will stay collapsed. Once it's collapsed and the animation's finished, it will stay downed forever. Yes, obviously if it lands on top of you, it is going to kill you. This is the easiest one to do, so that's why we're doing this one. There are more, like I said, but we don't need to do the remembrances. So look for the stairs. They are actually all different. They're a bit like the Colossi from, you know, Shadow of the Colossus. There's different ways. Some of them you have to jump off a cliff on top of them and things like that. But yeah, we only need this one. This is the easy one. So you go towards one, and then you can choose the Full Moon Queen one, and then if you duplicate it, and then you can duplicate it. You can actually use it and then duplicate it. You can do it in the opposite way, but just to be safe, we're going to do that first. And now we're going to go back to Round Table Hold, and we're going to get attacked. So this is the silent, this is Ensha of the Royal Remains. This is the silent woman that was posted up on Gideon's door. So she's just going to come and attack. She's very straightforward. She's quite aggressive, but she also doesn't have much health or hit very hard. So yeah, just kill her quickly before she manages to do anything. Once you've killed her, you will get the Clinging Bone weapon. That will actually happen once you leave the area. You'll sort of respawn again automatically into Round Table Hold proper. And there you go. You get the Clinging Bone weapon. And then we're going to go into here. You're going to speak to the old crone in here. We do now have 2 Great Runes. So once you have 2 Great Runes, she will give you a Talisman Pouch. So speak to her for a while until she does that, which is now. And then you speak to her normally, and you can transpose, is that the word? Boss souls, remembrances for their items, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to get the Carian, Regal, Scepter, and Rennala's Full Moon, so a weapon and a sorcery. So you can retrieve the power, you can also buy stuff. So this is Queen's gear. The hat gives you magic increase. It's not as good as the one we have now, but it also has no negative drawbacks. So I'm going to get this is the scepter that we're going to use for the rest of the game. And then the full moon is it's actually boosted by that scepter, and what the full moon does is it's actually a spell. It actually throws a moon at the enemy, a huge moon at the enemy. But then it also, the enemy that gets hit by the moon will take extra damage from magic for a while. So it can be a good starter spell as soon as you enter a room, a boss room or something. Cast that and then switch to something a bit quicker and continue killing them. So now we're going to finish off Rodrika's kind of side thing. We don't need to upgrade any of them yet. So speak to her again. She should be repeating herself, and then come back to... God, what's his name? Lude or something? What's his name? Hugh. And then speak to him about Rodrika again. And then say that you'd watch, will you watch her kind of thing. Blah de blah de blah. And they need to confirm that again. It's what she wants. Just going to skip through that. And then once his dialogue's gone, we're just going to upgrade. So we're going to upgrade our sword that we're using. And then we're going to switch to the scepter that we just got. So we need intelligence level 60 to use this, which we can't do yet, obviously. It's also not as good as the one we're using yet because it's not leveled. So we're going to start leveling it. It uses Somber Smithing Stones, this one. So we've got up to level 4 at this point. We're going to get a 5 later on. And then once it's leveled enough so it's better than the one we're using currently, we will switch them. So go back and speak. Actually, no, you can't go speak to her yet. You need to reset the area. She's just going to repeat herself still. So just sit at the grace point. And then she will be gone. So once Hugo's confirmed that he will kind of teach her or look after her, then she will become a spirit tuner. So she's going to be able to upgrade our spirits, ashes. We're not going to do any of them, the ones that we're using right now. We're going to get 2 much better ones later on, and so we don't have to look for more ghost gloveworts, etc. We're not going to upgrade them now. We're just going to wait. This is why we've not done all this yet. We're just going to wait until we have better ones, and then you upgrade those, so we don't have to look for more ghost gloveworts. So we should be fine up until that point. It's not going to be too long until we're doing it. So yeah, that's it for this video. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.